Do you ever feel like you're constantly chasing an impossible ideal, always striving for perfection, but never quite reaching it? In just a few minutes, we're diving deep into the hidden psychology of perfectionism, based on a fascinating conversation between Chris Williamson and Dr. Paul Hewitt. At its core, perfectionism is a deeply ingrained personality style. It's a way of navigating life driven by a profound sense of "I'm not enough." This feeling often stems from a belief that you are flawed or defective, and therefore unacceptable to others. This pattern frequently begins in early childhood. If basic needs for worth, acceptance, and belonging are met, a child might learn that love and acceptance are conditional. They might believe they need to be perfect to earn affection and a place in the world. The child's mind develops an elegant solution. If I can be perfect, or at least appear perfect, then I will be loved, cared for, and will finally belong. This becomes a powerful, albeit flawed, strategy to cope with the pain of feeling inadequate. Living inside a perfectionist's mind is often described as abusive, harsh, and critical. It's a constant internal dialogue of self-evaluation and self-criticism. Imagine speaking to your loved ones the way a perfectionist speaks to themselves. It would be unbearable. But how do we distinguish between healthy ambition and the destructive grip of toxic perfectionism? Healthy striving is about pushing yourself, setting high standards, and achieving difficult goals for growth and accomplishment. Toxic perfectionism, however, is driven by the need to repair the self. It aims to correct a perceived flaw or defect within, making it a maladaptive and damaging pursuit. A common misconception is that achievement can cure perfectionism. The reality is, success does not relieve the underlying belief of unworthiness. It's the wrong tool for the job. The fantasy is that perfection will solve the problem, but it never truly does. Even worse, a lack of success or perceived failure actively reinforces the perfectionist's core belief. It confirms their deepest fears: I am not good enough. This creates a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. The slippery slope of perfectionism means that even significant achievements can be twisted into failures. The goalposts constantly shift, making true satisfaction impossible. This leads to an endless cycle of upping the ante. Consider the student who achieved the highest grade in a challenging course, an A+. Instead of celebrating, he felt more depressed. He believed he had to work too hard, which only proved his inadequacy. This is how success can be turned into a confirmation of failure. Chris Williamson shared his own experience running nightclubs. For him, success without suffering felt like a failure. He had to hurt for the event to truly count as a success. This highlights the idiosyncratic nature of perfectionism for each individual. The paradox of perfectionism is that achieving success often brings no real satisfaction. Instead of joy, there's only relief that it's over, quickly followed by the pressure to move on to the next, even more perfect endeavor. There's no shared pride or celebration. Perfectionism isn't a single entity. It manifests in different ways. There are three main levels: self-oriented perfectionism, where you demand perfection from yourself; other-oriented perfectionism, where you demand it from others; and socially prescribed perfectionism, where you perceive others demand perfection from you. Another crucial distinction is between needing to be perfect and needing to appear as perfect. Some may genuinely strive for an internal ideal, while others are primarily concerned with curating an impeccable image for the outside world, concealing any perceived flaws. Perfectionism frequently overlaps with other personality traits and psychological issues. It's often linked to narcissism, depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. The constant internal pressure takes a significant toll on mental well-being. The consequences can be severe. Perfectionism is associated with relationship problems, physical health issues, and even early death. Studies show it predicts suicide, even when controlling for depression and hopelessness. This creates a tragic paradox. Perfectionists strive for connection and acceptance, but their behaviors often push people away. By being distant, guarded, and not genuine, they inadvertently create the isolation they fear most. To others, a perfectionist might come across as boastful, guarded, or simply not fully present. People sense a lack of genuineness when someone curates an image rather than revealing their true self. This makes authentic connection difficult. Perfectionists often delay seeking help because admitting illness or struggle feels like a profound failure. The thought of revealing imperfections to a therapist can be incredibly daunting, even when they are in immense pain. Dr. Hewitt shared a poignant story of a classical musician who carried an article about perfectionism in his wallet for 6 months. He only sought help after a failed suicide attempt when his wife insisted. This illustrates the extreme difficulty in reaching out. Recovery for a perfectionist isn't about eradicating perfectionism entirely. Instead, it focuses on addressing the deeper issues that fuel it, the need for worth, belonging, and genuine connection. It's about growth, not just symptom reduction. Many wonder if perfectionism is actually a performance enhancer, a necessary price for being the best. Research suggests the opposite. Studies on commission-based careers and university professors found that higher levels of perfectionism were associated with lower income and reduced index productivity. It interferes with success rather than enhancing it. It's dangerous to use the lives of top achievers like Steve Jobs or Michael Jordan as a blueprint. While they achieved greatness, the personal costs of their perfectionism were often immense. Most people aren't willing to pay that price, nor are they guaranteed the same outcomes. Elon Musk famously said that most people wouldn't want to be him, describing his mind as a storm. This hints at the internal suffering that often accompanies extreme achievement driven by perfectionism. At its root, perfectionism is fueled by an existential fear, the fear of not fitting in, not belonging, or not mattering. This deep-seated insecurity drives the relentless pursuit of an impossible ideal. When perfectionists consider letting go of their patterns, they often face a terrifying void. Their previous motivation was so ingrained that without it, they feel lost and unsure how to navigate the world. Humans struggle greatly with the unknown. Other-oriented perfectionism is about borrowing worth from others. If your partner or child is perfect, you gain status and worth by association. This is similar to narcissistic tendencies, where one aligns with high-status individuals to elevate their own identity. Intimacy and romantic relationships are incredibly difficult for perfectionists. Intimacy requires vulnerability and revealing imperfections. A perfectionist's inability to disclose flaws or difficult emotions prevents genuine connection and deep trust from forming. If you demand perfection from your partner, your own fear of not being enough can infect them. Their complaints often become the most visible sign of distress in the relationship, as the perfectionist's demands erode their partner's sense of safety and worth. Imperfection is human, yet failure feels unbearable because society often glamorizes perfection. From art and sport to religion and media, we are constantly shown ideals of flawlessness, making it hard to accept our own human limitations. Dr. Hewitt shared a powerful story of an adopted patient. Her loving parents told her she was chosen from a place where babies had no parents. But to the child, this translated into a terrifying fear of being taken back if she wasn't perfect, like a purse returned to a store. Recognizing that life involves trade-offs is crucial. You cannot be a perfect parent, a perfect professional, and a perfect friend simultaneously. Accepting these limitations and hedging your identity across different roles can alleviate the pressure of perfection. The most effective therapeutic approach for perfectionism is psychodynamic. It doesn't just treat symptoms, but delves into the deeper, underlying issues that produce perfectionism, such as the need for worth, belonging, and acceptance. The goal is self-acceptance, helping individuals understand they are not fundamentally flawed. Therapy creates a safe space to explore these perceived imperfections truthfully, often revealing they are not as terrible as imagined. Unlike cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, with its worksheets and exercises, psychodynamic therapy emphasizes experiential learning. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. You need someone to support you, guide you, and let you experience falling and getting back up, rather than just reading instructions. Worryingly, research indicates that perfectionism is on the rise across decades, particularly self-oriented and socially prescribed forms. This trend aligns with increasing rates of anxiety and depression, suggesting a growing vulnerability in modern society. If you or someone you know struggles with perfectionism, Dr. Hewitt strongly encourages seeking professional help. This complex issue requires deep, careful work. Discover the full insights by watching the complete interview on the Chris Williamson channel. The link is in the description.
Enjoying quick summaries like this and saving time? There's more coming, so hit that subscribe button.